Now, another law goes into effect today. It involves your right to leave guns in your car while at work. Now, of course, there are restrictions. Now, joining me now is Bill Robertson with Big Texas CHL Training. Tell us a little bit more about this law.
Good morning. The law allows anyone in the state of Texas that can legally possess a firearm to take that firearm to work and leave it locked up in their car with ammunition, and to be able to have that gun when they get out of work.
Now, originally, when I read the law this morning, and the first part of the law says license holders, and then later on it says anyone who can legally possess, and that has changed, you know, with the definition of carrying or traveling in your car, right? That's
correct. It's an extension of our Castle Doctrine that says we can protect ourselves wherever we are. So there are a few exceptions. You have to be able to legally own a firearm. One, that's a federal law. You have to keep it concealed. You cannot be involved in criminal activity. And the other thing is you can't be involved in a street gang. So those are the stipulations.
In which case you probably wouldn't be going to work anyway.
Exactly.
So what's the reasoning behind this? I mean, why was there the push to make, you know, to force employers to be allowed to let you do this?
Well, by not allowing a person to keep their gun, it just said that we can't protect ourselves. So by allowing us to have our guns in our cars now, we can protect ourselves to work and from work. So with the rising crime, it just gives everyone a little bit more calm feeling.
Speaking of CHLs, I know that there was a spike in gun ownership or gun purchasing, first-timers, and people trying to get their CHLs back in '08. Are you still seeing momentum from this left over?
It has slowed down a little bit, but there's still a lot of people interested in getting a concealed handgun license. And that's some men that want to protect their families, as well as women that, like single moms, that want to protect their families, but also that want to go out to the mall and that type of thing, especially with the Christmas season coming around. It's always a big, big thing.
I noticed that a lot of we were talking earlier about a lot of women trying to buy the smaller guns, and that may not be the best idea.
Right. Sometimes the smaller guns seem like a really good thing because they're easy to conceal, but a lot of times the felt recoil or the kick that the gun has, well, is a little bit more than a full-size gun.
So now we were talking about the having the vehicle in the car. Now the law change explained it was like you had to be crossing a state line, a county line, or something like that.
That law was never actually written. It was just something that was assumed. So every law enforcement agency kind of had their own little ruling, regarding that. So it was just assumed that if you were crossing more than 2 county lines and traveling and that sort of thing, you could legally possess that firearm. Now anyone in Texas can have that gun in their car, with those other stipulations.
Yeah. Do you think more people are going to start carrying? I mean, if they know that they can't get fired. I mean, what is it? Can you not get fired for it, or can you not get prosecuted for bringing the car, the gun to the workplace?
The law says repercussions from your employer. So there are a few employers that welcome firearms. So in that case, there was never a deal anyway. But now that the employees that say we don't want you to bring it to your desk or to your cubicle, now they can, we can still take it and keep it in the parking lot, and that includes parking garages. All
right. Now I wanted to switch gears a little bit because we were talking about this earlier about the hog law.
Right.
What are you calling it? The pig? What was it?
The pork law.
The pork law. Tell people about the pork law. This is not a concealed carry or it's not your car, but it's still interesting.
That's right. Before we could, a rancher or landowner could hire a helicopter service to, shoot the pigs in the wild hogs. But now that same helicopter service can actually let the rancher or his designee get in that helicopter and shoot the animals. So he can hire someone to come on board the helicopter.
So do you think people are going to start actually, maybe people who don't have land or whatever will hire, will buy these permits so they can go pig hunting?
Well, with our pig population increasing, they're going to have to do something, and that's just one more step that they can do. So it is still some paperwork. They have to get a permit. They have to go through safety class. So it's not as easy as it sounds.
All right, Bill Robertson, thanks very much for joining us.